Welcome back to my channel. Continuation on every German vehicle used during World War II. If you have not subscribed, kindly click on the subscribe button before we proceed. Armored half-tracks and prime movers. Sd.Kfz 251 Hanomag. The iconic Hanomag half-track became synonymous with the Panzer Grenadier divisions. Its sloped frontal armor and excellent cross-country mobility allowed infantry to keep pace with tank advances and deploy directly into combat from relative safety. It was the workhorse of mechanized infantry operations. Sd.Kfz 250. A shortened version of the Hanomag, the 250 series served primarily in reconnaissance, command, and communications roles. Its compact size made it more agile than its larger cousin, ideal for scouting and forward observation duties. Sd.Kfz 7 Medium Prime Mover. This 8-ton half-track was essential for towing the famous 88mm flat gun and heavy howitzers across all types of terrain. The gun crew rode in theater-style seating behind the cab, and the vehicle was a common sight on every front. Sd.Kfz 9 Famo. The heavy lifter of the German army, this massive 8-ton half-track was specifically designed for recovering disabled or bogged-down tanks. It often took multiple Famos chained together to extract a stuck tiger from deep mud. Sd.Kfz 10 Light Prime Mover. A nimble light half-track widely used to tow smaller anti-tank guns like the POC-36 and POC-38. Produced in large numbers, it helped mechanize the lighter artillery units and improved their tactical mobility. Sd.Kfz 11. The standard light artillery tractor, the Sd.Kfz 11 was responsible for towing field howitzers and navalware for rocket launchers. It filled the crucial gap between light and medium prime movers. Sd.Kfz 2 Kettenkrad. A bizarre but effective hybrid of motorcycle and tracked vehicle, the Kettenkrad was originally designed for airborne troops, but found fame in the muddy conditions of the Eastern Front. It could tow light guns and navigate terrain that stopped conventional motorcycles and trucks completely. Opel Maltier Mule. Faced with the seemingly bottomless mud of Russia, German engineers converted standard Opel Blitz trucks by replacing the rear axle with tracked units salvaged from obsolete French tanks. These mules became a logistical lifeline when wheeled vehicles were completely useless. Armored reconnaissance vehicles. Sd.Kfz 22. This light four-wheeled scout car featured angular armor plating and a small turret mounting a 20mm autocannon. Fast and agile on roads, it served as the eyes and ears of reconnaissance battalions during its early war years. Sd.Kfz 231 8-Rad. An 8-wheeled heavy armored car with an incredibly sophisticated suspension system that gave it excellent cross-country capability. It featured dual driver positions, one facing forward and one facing rear, allowing it to reverse at high speed without turning around. Sd.Kfz 234 Puma. Widely regarded as the finest armored car of the entire war, the Puma combined high road speed with a fully enclosed turret mounting a potent 50mm gun. It could outfight virtually any Allied reconnaissance vehicle it encountered. Sd.Kfz 263. Based on the 8-wheeled chassis, this specialized radio vehicle featured a fixed superstructure topped by a distinctive large-frame antenna. It served as a mobile communications hub, coordinating the movements of far-flung Panzer formations. Light utility vehicles, staff cars, and motorcycles. VW Schwimmwagen Type 166. Building on the basic Volkswagen design, the Schwimmwagen featured a bathtub-style hull and a drop-down propeller for water propulsion. It became the most mass-produced amphibious car in history, capable of crossing rivers and navigating muddy terrain that would bog down conventional vehicles. Horch 108. A heavy off-road personnel carrier with a robust V8 engine, used for towing light guns and transporting troops and officers. It was standard transport for headquarters units during the early war years. Stier 1500A. A rugged air-cooled heavy staff car manufactured in Austria. Favored by officers and field commanders for its exceptional reliability in extreme climates, from the scorching deserts of North Africa to the frozen wastes of Russia. Mercedes-Benz G4. A massive 6-wheeled luxury touring car, frequently seen in propaganda films carrying high-ranking Nazi officials. It was more of a prestige symbol for parades and state functions than an actual combat vehicle. BMW R75. A heavy military motorcycle specifically designed for Wehrmacht service, featuring a driven sidecar wheel that provided additional traction in difficult terrain. It was a durable workhorse for dispatch riders and reconnaissance troops. Logistics trucks and transporters. Opel Blitz 3.66700A. The legendary Opel Blitz was the primary cargo truck of the Wehrmacht, instantly recognizable by the lightning bolt logo on its grille. Reliable, simple to maintain, and produced in enormous numbers, it carried everything from ammunition to rations to troops, keeping German supply lines functioning. Krupp Protze KFC 69. Nicknamed the Boxer due to its flat 4-boxer engine configuration, this 6-wheeled truck featured a distinctive sloping UD. It was widely used for towing light anti-tank guns and transporting motorized infantry units. Raupenschlepper Ost, RSO. Specifically designed for the brutal conditions of the Eastern Front, the RSO was a fully tracked, slow-moving agricultural tractor pressed into military service. It sacrificed speed entirely for the ability to drag artillery through the deepest Russian mud and snow. Henschel 33. A heavy 6-wheeled cargo truck that entered service before the war began.
Sturdy and reliable, it was used throughout the conflict for hauling heavy loads and engineering equipment. Einheitsdiesel, a standardized diesel truck series featuring 6-wheel drive and independent suspension. While mechanically complex compared to the Opel Blitz, it offered superior off-road performance for a wheeled cargo vehicle. Specialized and siege vehicles. Panzer 42. This vehicle mounted a 10-barrel Naval-Werfer rocket launcher on an armored half-track chassis. The distinctive shrieking sound of its rockets earned it the nickname Screaming Mimi from Allied troops. It provided mobile saturation bombardment capability. Karl Gary, a monstrous self-propelled siege mortar that fired shells weighing up to 2 tons. Only a handful were built, primarily used to crack the toughest fortifications like those at Sevastopol. It required a massive crew and crane support to operate. Goliath Tracked Mine Sd.Kfz 302-303, a tiny remote-controlled tracked vehicle affectionately nicknamed the Beetle. It carried a high explosive charge and was intended to be driven under enemy tanks or into bunkers where it would detonate. In practice, it was often disabled by simply cutting its control wire. From the massive King Tiger to the humble supply truck, every vehicle played its part in the German war machine. Understanding these vehicles gives us insight into how the Wehrmacht fought across multiple fronts and adapted to ever-changing battlefield conditions throughout World War II.
Thank you for watching to the very end. Comment what video you are expecting next from us. Subscribe and help us improve our videos.